is only 26 minutes after 7. I don't pay the white joy area. Marina was Papa, the grass was saying no deal. Just stay with us. I don't pay. The national dialogue and Komobe Brena, who are no places, say they will 80 and Chishan Suma, your numbers no 0550567 929 0550567 929 and no any numbers are no pay your day and a juma what they were doing trading in our no at the bar your budget not yakin kind in our no at the amount and bruh the minority in Ghana's parliament HMA again their own version of the State of the Nation address. And we'll bring you more details on that now. Led by Dr. Amin Anta, former finance minister for the Republic, on the economy, on job creation, the mass dismissal of employees and as a workers NPP are buying a cable no and as part of their State of the Nation no but the former deputy finance minister Stephen Amoa what say national economic dialogue koso na finance minister presentation it looks more as if say data not to speak to no there all year choose and pick and take the favor the argument I will say or make it magana for ehono and no anendra or dinning no editor but we'll bring you more details on that now after the minorities State of the Nation no yet to me at the home and come more andra a very blooming picture and the finance minister as it to be a showcase here at the chair of mining in the Accra International Conference Center. Now, Obampeyin, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama Ekasaye indicating the economy needs a radical reforms. Ebetime abua ma economy no etime afane ntomapa ede efra enti there's a many more coming up pay na yenewo ede ho enkomo ma o messages ni nyina no emra 0550567929 0550567929 and any numbers I don't pay yede eye juma o de wadwen training nyina no ede ba yebeje na yakin kan ede amount. So we'll begin with a President Mahama and Radney address our ditudra ewo the economic dialogue no ase na ene fourth match enti ene ana dialogue ni nyina no ebetimi akọ na wie by close of the day no we expect any recommendations ebetimi a free dialogue nemo aba. But before we even show you the footages no ma yenko line so na yeni senior lecturer at the UCC business school enkodi enkomo Dr. Seram Kawo is on the line. Let me speak to him, and then he's an economist and then an accountant as well. Doc, if you can hear me, good morning to you and thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you very much. Good morning.
Very well. We are much grateful having you this morning. But first off, I mean, we're having a national economic dialogue to discuss a very important aspect of our economy and to see how best we can formulate a policy which will aim to restructure the entire economy and then position us to move forward as a country. Your initial impression about the data you saw yesterday from presentations of the finance minister to that of the president and what we anticipate after this particular dialogue in terms of recommendation.
Okay, thank you very much. I will look at it from the previous administration and use the case of the e-levy to illustrate and tell you about my impression about it. So last year, I think last 2 or 3 years, we had the government of the day coming out with the e-levy. It came as a surprise to many of us because that was the first time we heard about the e-levy during the budget reading. It was 2.5, came down to 1.5, then it was reduced to 1%. What happened was that once it was announced, we saw the backlash that came with it. And so later, after the reading of the budget, we saw our MPs, the finance minister, and other members of the government now going around in the various districts, the regions, to have town hall meetings to educate the people on why the need for the e-levy. That took a number of months before the e-levy was passed, and that actually affected government revenue over time. That time, I was of the view that those consultations that they did were supposed to precede the reading of the budget. And so if this government wants to come out with certain policies now, and they are having the economic dialogue with the citizens, with civil society organizations, industry captains, and the rest, then it's a step in the right direction. What we have seen yesterday was to tell us where we are now and where we want to get to. There were several revelations yesterday, and something that we need to look at critically, especially when it comes to public procurement, when it comes to value for money, because the Public Procurement Act makes it very difficult for procurement to be done by government agencies themselves. Government is a large procurer of materials, resources, and services. And if the law that has been passed will not allow government to do this, but will use third parties who will go and put a higher profit on those things, then it is problematic. And the president mentioned that yesterday, that you buy something 4,000 and you are selling it around 6,000 and making so much amount of profit from that particular one, something that they need to look at. We heard about the state-owned enterprises, that they are all in red. They are not making profit.
Exactly.
If the state-owned enterprises are not making profit, then it becomes an issue. I have been of the view that the state-owned enterprises, we can raise money for them, and those monies, there are no interest to be paid on those monies that we raise for them. And luckily for us, yesterday, after the discussion, I heard the MD for the Ghana Exchange talking about listing those state-owned enterprises on the stock exchange. That takes away the management of those enterprises from government and leaves it in the hands of the private individual. Government goes to the capital market to raise money, and they go for bonds where interests are paid on it. What about equity, shares, where you don't pay any interest? The entities work for themselves and they pay the amount. We can mention a number of the companies that we can get listed on the stock exchange, and we are making money. The finance minister talks about tax rationalization. He talks about the energy sector inefficiencies and makes the point that the consumer should not be allowed to pay higher because the electricity company of Ghana is inefficient. And so it's a step in the right direction that when we want to get a budget that is successful, the citizens must agree and see the budget as a tool of transformation. And that is where we are. And the chairperson of the committee responsible for the National Economic Dialogue said that the resetting agenda is not in the preview of only the president. It involves everybody. The agenda as it is being espoused now would have a fight within and from outside, which means that the president will need to take some tough decisions that people will be happy and some will be uncomfortable with. And that is what I have gotten from the picture. And hoping that by the end of today, we would get a communication from the various preliminary discussions that will be taking place, that took place yesterday and today, and then in the future we will see it reflecting in the budget. And so for me, it's just carrying the citizens along, telling us where we are, where we want to go, and how we are going to get there. And for me, it's proper planning to prevent poor performance.
Very well. Now, Doc, the most important thing, to notice is the fact that many Ghanaians are calling for, reduction or total abolishment of some levies in which citizens are made to pay. And so, for instance, e-levy is expected to go, COVID-19 levy is expected to go. It is equally expected that government will do a reintroduction of the tolling, just to, make sure that we have the required funds to be able to construct enough roads for the country. Now, as much as we do this, traders who are equally within the trading sector are expecting that government will not introduce new taxes or additional taxes in the upcoming budget. And so, in anticipation of this, and as they wrap up the dialogue today, what are we to expect next week? Because right after the dialogue is the first budget hearing of this particular administration.
Yeah, so I am expecting it's a social contract the government had with us, and they made mention of taking away the e-levy, the corporate tax, the betting tax. That social contract has to be fulfilled, and they have made the firm assurance that they are going to take those taxes away. The reintroduction of the toll is something that is laudable. At the time that the toll was taken, it was a misplaced priority by the government. You don't see the rain coming and the clouds forming, and you go and throw the the small water that you have in your pot, hoping that the rains will come. If the rains did not come, you are in trouble. You have to go and look for water. And we saw the rains of e-levy, how much we are going to raise and the things we are going to do. And for that matter, we threw the tolls away. Bringing it back is a good thing. We need to ensure that we do not introduce any new taxes. If you cancel a tax, you abolish a tax, and you introduce another tax in that vein, it becomes a zero-sum game.
Okay.
It doesn't have any effect. And so telling us that they are going to cap some of the statutory funds that we have, reducing government expenditure, and making sure that the loopholes that we have in the systems in terms of corruption and all those things are going to be done. And they will recover some of
yes, but the reality question or the reality test will be that, in terms of cutting government's expenditure, would that, necessitate the shortfalls that we are likely to face in terms of revenue generation whilst we do away with some of the taxes? Are we going to have a replacement of those ones that we have to do away with?
No, I'm sure the government is not thinking about reintroduction of taxes. You know, the previous government brought about a number of taxes in the system. And what we need to do is that there are loopholes in the tax collection. Most of the taxes that are collected do not go to the government, but end up in the pockets of individuals who are in charge of these entities, and that leads to corruption. What would have to be done is how we can close those loopholes where we introduce technology and monitor the issues that are there, and also train those who are looking after that particular technology that we have in. So if you introduce a new tax, we are in trouble. People are going to kick against it. Government will need to create the enabling environment. For example, if e-levy is reduced or taken away, betting tax is taken away, it makes sense that the companies that are into this are making profit. They will be able to declare the right profit. For example, they said the betting companies are not reporting the amount that they make. So they are going to come out with a system to know how much they make. These betting companies pay tax on their operations. So that will go a long way. E-levy is taken away. The MTN or the Momo aspect of MTN will make profit. They will pay tax on this amount.
Yeah, but again, with that assertion, Doc, what would be the real effect on the fact that you are taking away betting tax, but on the other hand, you would want to increase communication talk tax? Now, what equally becomes of the fact that, I mean, you are increasing the VAT rate, or probably, so to speak, you would want to increase property rate just to be able to compensate for the shortfalls that you are likely to face in terms of revenue generation. Now, it is more or less like you robbing Peter to pay Paul. I mean, if we are to go in the tangentry.
If we go through that tangent, then it will be sad for all of us. I am not privy to any information that says that they are going to have communication tax that will come in. The communication tax, and some of them, the financial institutions charge some bundle charges and all those things. Where does it go to? The aspect of trying to ensure that you rationalize the tax system is something that we need to look at. If we introduce a different tax in the system, then we are robbing Peter to pay Paul, as you have said. And that is not how government should go.
Very well. But wrapping it up, I mean, with you on this one. Now, we are doing this at the back of the fact that government has equally some intentions to roll out some flagship programs. So, for instance, there is a government that has promised that all existing infrastructural projects will have to be completed before new ones are initiated. And so yesterday, if you listen to the finance minister, now he made mention that over $1.5 billion is what is required to be able to complete the Agenda 111 project. Now, whilst we've been able to use about $400 million, I mean, already sunk into this whole project, we are still unable to, operationalize most of these hospitals that were initiated by the previous government. We are equally doing this at the back of the fact that government would want to roll out, 1 billion jobs for youth who would want to go into IT and then coding, which all will require money. Again, government wants to roll out the 24-hour economy and then better to create more opportunities for jobs. And so how do we do this vis-a-vis the kind of things that the government has equally promised in terms of limiting their expenditure and all of that?
Managing the economy is not a small thing. It's going to be very tough for them. And I believe they are having sleepless nights over the months that they've been in power. It's going to be very tough because it will be very good for us to make sure that the current and existing projects are completed. We need to look for the money. And anytime government wants to do something, they look for the money and get it to do what they want to do. The sad aspect of it all is that we are out of the international financial market where we cannot go and borrow, especially on the capital market. If government comes up with a bond right now and they are selling bond on the stock exchange, very few people will want to go and buy it. Bearing in mind, you just came from the domestic debt exchange where haircut has been experienced and the terms of payment have been prolonged for the bond holders. And so it becomes imperative for us to look at cheaper ways of doing things. For example, the coding jobs that you are going to create for the people, there are other companies that are already into coding. Government can go into an agreement with these people, and then we get a lower rate for training of these coders that we want. Now, training the people in coding, does it reflect in the job market? The answer is no. We need to make sure that we create the job and create the necessary infrastructure that is necessary to boost. Internet access is very difficult and expensive in our country. If you want to go with the 24-hour economy, you don't go and start new things. The companies are already in existence. You don't start on a very large scale. Select cities. You can start with Accra, Greater Kumasi. And even Greater Accra, Greater Kumasi, it's not every place that you can do it. There are selected places where these things can be done. You monitor from those angles and the lessons you have learned from that place, then you roll it out to other places. It could start 3 months, 2 months in a particular place. You got good lessons, and then you push it. Other places will automatically pick from those ones. Companies and industries that are into manufacturing are already there. Contact them and see how best you can help them roll out the 24-hour economy. We have some big markets that are operating. How do we create the 24-hour economy for them? The 24-hour economy, which is the night economy that booms, goes with entertainment. How do you create the creative industry? How do you make the creative industry very robust and resilient? And that will ensure that the safety of the customers are at par with any other country around the world. The lighting system, how do we improve upon the lighting system and the transportation system for people who want to move intercity to go and trade? That is what we need. If we go ahead and we are trying to create new entities, register new companies, and making sure that we start everything afresh, that is where it becomes very difficult for us. We are limited with some resources. Let us work within what we have now and make it work, and others will automatically come on board.
Very well. Before I let you go, I mean, yesterday, the minority side in Parliament equally had their time to present the true state of the nation. That is how they term it. Now, the former Deputy Finance Minister has raised concerns about presentation made on the data provided by the Finance Minister during yesterday's engagement. Now, he makes the point that it's more or less a choose and pick kind of thing that the Finance Minister did. He has chosen the data that really suits his argument. And so, I mean, even at the time where they were exiting power in the last quarter of 2024, the economy was reviving itself. Now, they have been able to leave the country with an inflation hovering around 23%, even though not better, but at least it takes the government to a very good point where they need to do a lot of things to better that particular, record for which they left behind. Now, he is saying that this is not the true state. I mean, there should be more realistic approach to dealing with the data we have available.
All right. A wrong is always a wrong. A wrong is always a wrong. Two wrongs do not make something right. In the past, the current government did the same thing. It come out and then talk about this is the true state of the nation and all those things. All those things affect the country's financial performance. It affects the macroeconomic environment. It affects investor confidence in whatever we do. What was done by the minority yesterday was something that they could have avoided because it was done like a comic relief. Excuse me to say that. Why am I saying that? The economy that was left, we all know. You don't have to come and tell us. We talk about the macroeconomic indicators. If you are talking about inflation rate of 23% and you are comparing that inflation rate to a country of 7% that have maintained it over a period of time, what are you telling us? What is the cost of a fuel, a liter of fuel at the pump? What is the cost? What are the transport fares that we have? Haven't we been in this country that we have had a debt exchange program? Well, haven't we been in this country that our the grading agencies have downgraded us? Yes, we have been hit by COVID, Russia-Ukraine war, and geopolitical issues that have affected our economy. But it is the same time that we had a lot of money coming in. What did we do with the COVID relief funds that have been given to us? It was given to businesses that were supposed to be in operation. But this COVID fund was shared to party members. It's a serious issue that we need to look at. Let our politicians know that they are not only thinking about the next election, but they are thinking about the next generation that will come. We need sustainable ways of doing things, meeting the needs of the present without compromising the needs of future generations. The actions by our politicians is a dent on our image. We are all supposed to work together and build this country. Projects started by one government should be continued by the other governments. It doesn't matter who is doing it and who is taking the credit. The credit should be Ghana that has done this and we have progressed over time. Those are the things that we expect from our politicians. It's a difficult task for all of them. It's a difficult task for the minority to lose an election the way they did. Who said that they are called mighty minority? And when they talk about mighty minority, they were laughing when they were doing that. They all send bad signal about the issues that they want to raise. Yes, the finance minister might have picked and chose the data that suits his arguments, but they are telling us where we are coming from. And the economy, the pockets are the ones that are going to fill it. What was the interest rate? What was the exchange rate? What are we experiencing in those areas today? What is in terms of job creation and all the rest? And so we need to be objective when we come to these areas. Otherwise, the investors that we want to get into our economy would not actually come when we get them to come.
Very well. Doc Abasi, I'm grateful for your time this morning. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you very much. I'm grateful.
Very well. And Dr. Seram Kawo is a senior lecturer with the University of Cape Coast Business School. Speaking to us about the economy and the dialogue Kosuanope. Mamene the founder and leader of LPG, Kwame Appiah Kubi Mkomo. Govi otumenka macha fishiapa.
Mejo so speaker.
Na empombo ko de.
Oh, onyakupo na dumara kwa. Ene mo pa bo ho ye pa me.
Afi de mente wonka.
No kwe. Afi de maba Kumasi.
Okay.
I came to Kumasi for some time.
Very well. But that's it. Sadope wajie. So na ejebu ejenya babedu. Abanyi promises within the first 120 days, wamobe the friend economic dialogue at the national level. Na afi Ghana fo nyina no ene enim defo e wonim de efa economy ene esika sebo no yatoato adwen na yehu fapem papa yebetimi esi ediamo mine sikasem endra ana dialogue no eshase but mintio so far utio mampanyin John Dramani Mahama utie finance minister Rato Forsen ene the picture womo painti ediama yen about Ghana's economy baby a yeti ene de womo ye bebe wiye ene ede na wo expect say be free mo aba
oh ano permit ya utie fo nyina na magase mrepa ewenim amse uti ensema omo kekana dia omo no de lamentation na so hu omo chado so da me chano omo chado ani na ensema ubia nim se omo babeka atre. It's all about na Ghana nkuyi na Ghana ani yamochire na Ghana so na so dia kai na ani se edebe na mbe wodi yake yese o se Ghana airport o Ghana eden edebe na bo babeye ama emrantie ne mabawa na nya adwuma ye edebe na wo babeye ama ya add value to our natural resources. Edebe na obabaye ama Ghanaians ateki a better chance in the AI industry, artificial intelligence that is going on. Edebe na Ghana for ye ni ateki a better chunk of it. Edebe na Ghana for ye na yabwa ama all sectors of the economy grew na Ghana for so ewuram no matuma bibi wom. It's our economic dialogue your very good, but this one the first time. Say to be saying no money one day. But the truth of the matter is they always assemble the same old crops of people. The same old people. Acquire away money, I'm going to say. Franklin Kujo, Ishmael, one or more sample for now. No, my boy, man, no, no, but you see, it's not about English. It's about the brain work. It's about visionary. So you are able to see ahead. You are able to see beyond the ordinary. You see, the problem with Ghana is that we always believe in people with academic credentials. Now, the one time that Binomaki can be a normal much trouble from the good book so, but no action. It will end up in shelves and Kubabia. Don't because
now we want to Zamfro.
There be some doctor Nibi. Oh, the machine.
Oh, but so we accountant and T. Ebanis same home somewhere.
Okay, and yet just be an accountant too. It's not being an accountant as a move. It's about how you are able to add value to something. And the person can be an accountant, but passing past what a church road, passing or by accountant. And no money says, oh, but why be DIS from home. So you need to assemble men, who say one or more business acumen, fantastic brains. Obedi say more Jumara when it say Kessben, Kwame.
Yeah.
Or business brain. You cannot do with that him. You need to involve him. Obedi said Dr. Mensa Wotabel. He has business brain. You need to bring him to the table. Your Kwame despite. You need to bring him to the table. Obedi say for it upon. You see, I believe that by now you are getting to where I'm getting to. Obedi say Duncan Williams, Ajenasari. You see, why am I saying so? These are the people you can see say almost annual Jumani or my BB. So they mention on their own small way. Over bring you almost together. Which over almost sago for minimum my year now. Which means you can see there for so many years now, no. With all weather, no, they've been able to sustain their businesses to this level. So, when you bring them together to a round table, they'll be able to share ideas and lead this country. So, let me tell you. Papa, yeah, we also for a second chance.
Yes.
You see, if you don't have business mind at home, you can't build the kind of church he has built. You must have a business acumen, a business mentality to build that kind of churches. And, the reason why I'm mentioning those people, Kantanka. You see, these are the brains that you need to assemble. And book. I'm not saying it's a book only, but we need practical. This is where we need practical hands. Then they come together, they sit on the round table, and then they'll be telling you, "There we are person away, no. Why you say ye? Mama now we tables. No, when is tropical. You see that woman, BBB something Kote. If I Kate Kote, yes. You need such brains. You bring them together and sit them on a round table. Now go for that day, go for the day. I'm a couple of fools. If you are a better come and I got 2 shelves and yet you are.
I see. Come on, this is a boho de ra, and to say Anton Safro, Krawan Kasabit, we are Kobiana.
W. What can you do as an invitation and now friendly? The Bronco will do down.
Ghana for you and a quarter to a drink.
Yeah, I dear you have to buy and say, young friend on alcohol. Now, our invitation away. What I say, no, you feel what I say.
But political parties were invited, Anna.
Maybe invitation be there. Invitation be
I see.
But the two of the matter is say, and Nema Omokotina Omokanina, your problem, Nema Munupe. Ghana Hanum, your problem, and Nema capital formation. And value addition. That's it. Your problem now, say answer to our problem in adding value to our natural resources, forming capital to add value to our natural resources. Finito. Because the engineer say you need to cut. I bet you may be and the time piano. This is for Bruni, no about fire, not the core curriculum. You know, you end up in the same old story. They can't come out with any solution. I'm telling you, there's Asana Ghana for you a problem in Nana Makachirono. Say near me a bossicano together. I mean, it's a move to near ma a son. Over build the airliner. You need, let's say, $1 billion. Echo, some of them channel.
Yes.
$1 billion. How do you raise that $1 billion? Build a company, flow shares. Let people understand that this is a company. Obia who can be a better shares room. Now, be a part owner. And this is our projection in the next 15 years. In the next 50 years, this is how the business is going to be. And we are trading the stocks on the stock market. Okay? So, both sides. How do we benefit from the both sides? We need, let's say, $2 billion to kickstart something to add, to dig and add value to it. Okay? $2 billion. Let's flow shares. Let's invite Ghanaians all over the world. Such will to a benefit of because we actually do stocks on the stock market. Who say people who have money, they will easily put that money in there, and you know that anytime he can trade the stocks on the stock market and get his money. Okay, or all the insurance companies, pension houses, they can now invest those monies in that stocks. So your body or mind. And then back for to me, yeah. Meaning, this year, the case of Butumano Powi, saying 100,000. And I'll see that bank, 100,000. Would you be the bank one? But you're not here. Now, maybe 100,000, a investment. Our new company, Bia. May Mr. Musicano was a company with Dutch Biano, Omian Faswa, or much cha, maybe. And I say, Musicano, because the value of the shares will go up, and then I'll get capital gain. I will invest more money. And you'll be obey 50,000 with the on financial, obey investing, 100,000, 200,000, and then we can accumulate capital and do big things in Ghana here. We don't need to travel, and we don't need to go and bring foreign investors to come and do things for us. We should be able to do our own things, invest in our own oil. Oil in the area, and for so, I didn't into your oil. But once you can do to, it's all about leadership and smart thinking. And AI now, young crabby brain and I'm upon thing. Our munya juma, in crabby brain and I'm about your moye. Common sense will tell you that and proud they are the future of this country. So what do? Let's train them into AI, because AI is the future. Let's train them. Let's invest in them, and then we say in the next 20 years, some be competent in AI. Now changing the world. That is how we do. Now the economic dialogue kind of my GDP, inflation, interest rate, because of course school your culture is the interest rate, exchange rate, whatever and one of money from my better now no be true. no ya momuska ma betrofi we end up zero. So minia you be say ku ani masomaya. Let's bring Ephesians to the table and let's sit down and let's work together and let's move this country. Now we require economic dialogue. Now I am no kasano power. What you mean by this anyway? Because if it's a good Polu is nothing. Who told you? Why invite Kessben? Why invite some from Bubutino to that round table? And what do you think you will achieve? You will not achieve anything. I'm being honest and sincere with you because this is not the first time MPP for you be. If also and this is why first and almost have you. The same crop of people now no more assemble. Some Guadia. Na ni no Thompson ni wa mo no e akọbo ma no makudu omunkoyofu.
Very well. Kofi, mami na asia no pay. Why?
Besu me dasi.
Na me ba Kumasi America.
Oba Kumasi a ohun. Baby a obetche me pa ye Dalu.
I see. I don't know what him for.
Wo ahensan koko.
Oh, Daddy, go fever from. Why not? Watch them quiet on that. We are going to be spending the hand on it. Some no, dear sir, Eclipse collateral management, Edimwako Tenepa, Sir Woodtieme, na and nay, Uyo Bia, Uye Japadie Ram, Pacho, Wayan Kratadia to a Japadia Swa, Aquenya Cassia, Anna, and nay, Eclipse at the airbound. One more say fan Kratane Bra, one more the Bayajuba, na a fair one more to our commission, ever home. And which opposite one more eboa air system with collateral na ultimate secure a financial facility bank biadia and oped your benina no and say one Eclipse bedin komo na one more ebeje was so ye pa and opay one more accredited platform ni can ye when you are more edin komo eboa ma wonso wunya sika e de share wo business no emo anopa hwe mo kira kwan ewo Adentan barrier wo mo ebe Medmoses Hospital no ewo West African Senior High School wo ne ho pe fra wo mo on 0543 832466 0543-832466 na wone Eclipse collateral management eni enkomo adopay na wo mo ebeje wo so pa Sadikeba Center for Adaroba Pacho Womo Ede a year Flexon 600 no Ede Aba ene no a year a droba kwa babebua ye pa Pacho wa a year sexually related challenges and as diseases and weaknesses no wadra SSA wono no mbino eno no ebe treating in ano Ede amount afe dru baby ayana what say waposo no ya unya the stiffness of the neck ato tenated herbal and afe hilos herbal eho nyina no obenya bi ato temafo ebeko Little George Pharmacy a shaman Echoes Pharmacy and afe nkoko obeko Hillside Pharmacy o Kumasi ampacho obeko Kolinak herbal Misty herbal apidank and afe Freddy Mens na wetibi akwakoje wodie anope fre sadik for on 0244-153511 0244-153511 and after 0557-997797 05 deposit no ede abam pacho opese uye investment and opeya the only place usika no eye secure eye safe na womono betina say ede nkomo ma interest bebre na no about sika so ede amount no Bayport Savings and Loans omunko ana etena say any oko into negotiation about the rate I say womode kan sika no ho and pay opese we investment for 3 months 6 months and also say 1 year pacho Bayport be womo apono mo ede ato ho ede amount say bra na fixed deposit there womo any masters no womo ne papa no and pay usika no pacho nyade a yebete so o time so a eno ane se waka akire ye na afi ye timi e de amount opese ye reinvesting so a ni nyina no yebetimi aye sanhwehwe ni nyina e de aboa and opese se o work account with Bayport and also se woni account no de obe nyina ne se woni wo mo eni nkomo and also se borua e ye Bayport Savings and Loans branch BMO ewo o my Ghana mu na wo mo beje so na nhwehwe ahodo e ho nyina no wo mo aboa ama watimi edi so pepepe mpacho akwenya we osika no ebewo edi amount ebeye adwuma edi amount ama won so watimi enya eho emo ho anɔpɛ branches ni nyinaa no ebie oba nkran a obɛkɔ kokomilimle ATTC school no enchen pɛ na woni Bayport Savings and Loans any enkobo 0245 153283 0245 153283 and after 0263 007 922 0263 007 922 na woni eye Bayport Savings and Loans. But your numbers is 055 0567 929 055 0567 929 and no a text line and pay the a year Juma. And I have a pause. You got to ask a government for margin.
Yeah, Kwame Appiah.
That is saying
Nyamia Domara Kwabi Biaboko Kwame.
Yeah, that trade and say na member Maakye bro, member of the NDC's communication team and a deputy director in charge of election for the NDC. And pay also Atina Sebadi.
Omaino mu eyeboko bibiawo.
Bibia Yaboko, my name Yaboko, lawyer Sebe Ebe Johnny Asole, or no a member of the NPP's communication team. Na watimi abeka yen home, yetimi Edin Kombono anope. Enti major issues anope yashe so far. National economic dialogue no ego so a koso and dra presentations a hodo pi na no ana a koso e wo ho and dra minority so etimi edin sem trofo edi enkomo about the true state of the nation said the woman a canon no nina no yebede ho nkomo anope na yetimi ahwe but I mean shasi on an African point ziga so hona meshe nkomo na say
yes me ba no na me tiajbet interview bia oye before me see na Peter
interview the
only Kofi Agbalo interview now ka say we say na ka invite practical persons only part say or no in fact to fa Agbalo biography when only achievement be oh
how
o dey be only achievement be the only achievement why a true politics. And when you contract the kasa, he should show us what he has done practically of his life.
Akbalu need to be to his credit.
You see, in fact, he's
now
the only political party who always campaign at IPAC. One campaign. So live TV knew when you campaign is not popular. Always.
Kofi Akbalu is an accountant. A basic asem home comodia. I mean, a top notch.
Accounting. Me say the achievement as a Kofi Akbalu then in contribution to our economy. Apart from political business, okay. I'm saying that. Tell me.
Kofi ni hand way in one.
You see, he. I'm more studio.
But say one can one more relating them personally.
I'm saying
more selecting some of the old same people are here.
And I'm saying the same person who is speaking about his credibility is where? Then. No credibility now, not then what achieving the last 5 years. On train. Say private work away practical now. Oh yeah, then oh yeah.
Say the company I was running.
The party our new organizer origin.
Only
organizer the party on try original 276 constituencies, you know. How did he manage those constituencies? We have 41,000 police stations. One try each of them with his system. What me establishing agent friends the police station anyway. I should tell us.
Kofi Akbalu had over 36 aspirant contested for parliament.
I am saying that.
Oh yeah, where?
I'm saying that 42,000 polling stations. One try executive. You see, knowledge is needed. Oh, but say you are no opportunity. You are no opportunity. Say who yes, who ni more? And then no, I don't take it.
On case or ni more.
What say? What say? Oh no. In fact, you know, say in some what kind, you know, when they say sign the way in Nigeria to. Only when I'm say only sign him there no. Then now what in the last 5 years, the company man. How many times has he been able to paint his office?
This
is a things that we look at. What my example of your boss is because of what he achieved with radio station.
So the business.
Yes, he shows the business our year. Let me say, the end I want to in the last 5 years, so that when we are tapping practical knowledge and fanka, Mr. The achievement a political business. You see, these are the people. Last for these 2 years, he believes in the economy now. He believes inside they be John Mahama say Anya Krapa should be MPP again to lead us to this one. This is what he has. So I agree. We need people a invitation of all. Apart from one market in the monocapono, there are sources OTB ascending or views. So don't mind or Masao do mine now say do mine na can say na won ko be that you now chastising the people say the same people and I call the last century. So then they be here. Then you ask him say on the credibility anyway. Speaker. It's unfortunate. We allow political party and a man platformer workers and in any case, we're going to vote to say in this election so.
When you are voting,
you don't go.
Oh, there be any crap.
My see my evidence of
my dear crap. What was it? We are deputy director. We are deputy director in charge of election for the NDC. Strong room who call hobby. The muye in our coalition in our way. And me say again, you are
you vote. You say our elections.
You vote. You say Kofinya say.
Why even third in the elections?
I don't go about it about.
Now 42 years a month for man. I'm year man on want to about just the man.
I don't go about third in election until compare.
Only say I don't go vote. I can reject vote more. And the judge vote is the third in the elections.
Debbie and the ultimate final
Kofi speaker. But the fact they say Kofi Akbalun said the elections now walk here. People didn't believe in his intellect. In terms of even selling his message of accounting, so we bought my man for Jane to move. So why will the Ghanaian the same will give you the opportunity to when you get the opportunity will give him, but he shouldn't chastise people. Say you invite you. He can mention people, but on the one we should know.
Now my man was not the only.
Missing the achievements are politics. He should show that the business why establish you 1, 2, 3 in the last 5 years.
Kofi Akbaluko Kumasi, I know schools are running in
Yeah. Now, what's it now?
It's a big school.
What's it now? In the school way.
And that's all.
Me say, and I'm making an achievement.
Beautiful school.
And I'm saying the achievement. Your politics.
Maybe you don't know the businesses.
I am saying that it's business. Like what I know. What do you can say? You're practical, no? Can you tell me, say, you already open an example of your boss, no? As your boss, you want to rely on any government project Saudi Arabia. So if you are relying on the government project to do business, I can tell you say, if that business, if that government is not there, say because your business will not succeed. Then you know that practical. Practical. The practicality is that you stand on your own to do things. I just say a man for someone crazy no speaker. So this he has done. Mr. Politics is what people use it. I know we agree. He's making his way, but he should respect the people that has been invited, who have made their time for Ghana dialogue in a not just to say no young friend or say who crowd say I didn't say or say the so be and try and sign friend now invitation no crowd say obey me apamoho. But you even told him say when I dare obia me boy. And he sure says Akbalupa say program we crap on obi papa no say program ya pamo.
As a man invitation.
And because he doesn't worth it.
Akbalu is not worth it.
Because I'm saying that because the statement
Obia what contested a presidential election. Also he's not worth it. I mean who else would be worth it to receive an invitation for
contesting Ghana elections? Open IPAC and now IPAC more a platform now yet at campaign. Untimia campaign and say why. And if it's about that one, they say no be say not away from Obia for those discussions. But we call Ghanaians Ghana for our in Ghana and the available to it. He is not part of those who believe in it. Only first I say any when we gave him so to take care of his party when Timmy and develop a party. So you shouldn't say on you any. If Akbaluko elections, no win elections, and the program for say balu sa otumi party in Ghana 18 million one for say to Obama. Then you respect his view. But I'm sorry.
Very well. But I say, but maybe I would be free and my main chassis was so. And was it? I remember my DJ, bro.
Atitia Palu.
Was it?
Atitia Palupa.
Oh, there we go. Madi Mamintio, Namin chassis and free so economic dialogue, no. Baby, I'll see and a while year chassis, dear free. Mamintio,
Mr. Speaker, I think that I saw mine. And I Juniper and I say I drink and I say someone any faco any timo. And anybody who feels say minimum and will not take say advice ideas from other people. Onakasa to me say na wa born no because we feel say with him. Inti mean you will be advice. I don't know you will not lead anything better for the system. On my succeeded no, they go to people and ask, dear me, you're me a boy, I'm actually a meeting. And this has come to this kind of economic ideology, and there. What we say, a band say, we say, why do we need that kind of knowledge? Saying this is a campaign, a campaign, problems, you know. So, Minister of Finance, so they should go and lead and take us where we are going. And your politics, on my, on my, in just say because elections here by almost to come, but how will the people satisfy? Omenyam faswa politics in eba. I bet me abo mine. The NDC has been in government in 2008 to 2016. In the course of it, no man penny John Drama Bay and 1 penny 2012 to 2016. But was some no even though he believed in the directions now walk. But now among for so for the directions when and carry faha eba boy the faha eba boa and also they be okay. A best idea. Men can say me kwa enti mombra na nkotina se nche yenju ho. The speaker. The free amount for kase Ghana for mombra. Ya tunsa Fred MPP, MPP. Mukwa pa na mokasa dodo apa mo so mombra. Na yenhwe se na ebetimi a ye benya end of some of our challenges. The MPP told Ghanaians say Ombabaka abo man Ghana de Ghana embo omo baby. They will not come into that program. And Ghana they answer because omo interest in say Ghana say ya and then NDC ya to Obama one then they will be in government. That is what their interest is. It's their personal selfish interest. You cause that discussions with 10 years ago. In that discussions, and we say IMF you did to say IMF almost 8 or so times ni. But essence say Abeshiano, where the Nigeria, but where they do, it's a homegrown policy. Say, the last one where they did to say, my Munko, in engine to say, IMF to save this economy. But after that, you go beyond because in share idea to a dear to Mohano, you better hold do obia on that. Speaker, you started way our first year to 2016, MPP go Jack and say, IMF no crap on a bro. I'm going to call my bonte IMF. Me wa, Mr. Speaker. I'm going to call honey na pelify call. I'm bon. Now I'm going to media. So I'm IMF no crap on. America that time na America was so America come be free. Taxation, taxation. They want your taxation. Now I'm going to production because they are who yo. So say programs in ano and more my. Nyamin child ye. Nyamia was only my boy. And I say MPP munje to me in 2016. Edit to me more with the same IMF, with the same America, with the same taxes they all no. MPP buy you know. First the IMF no crap among friends in Jobu. Amotuaso. Extendi. America no mo kan wan sem say America ma metwe mu no eno crap am de close. Taxes are ye wo mu na fe crap no be two taxes mu an mu so. 8 years down the line. On mine say crap in fact IMF na mo so mo nko mo to aso crap no say come ko different style hwabio omo ko say no omo ko to antoma eye hu de eye advert say yeah ya bon say e ko IMF o mu bon semaye IMF if am ko crap no tax let's say no taxes am many Ghana for na di yi levy abetomu you see ba mo any levy no di omoji yi levy ni mo mfa yen ko IMF first because sa na ye dwen ho at least mo antime yi le bebu am say dey bi omo de omo nem die no omuji e levy eji betted omu wie so amu say yen san ko IMF bio ye ko 8 years wie John Dramani Mahama ba o say me ntina se enko because no ma shebo say sa enimdie no e say yen san nya sa informations no to guide us enti na ebe share start sa economic dialogue you know obi anfa na jem kire embra because they say the MPP MMC we have the mayor no sa na omu ye roadside aplanke na mu nim adwuma on beye say bi omo na ko yi levy aba say bibia abaya to the stand say ade ayen ye Canada aye efe haircut ya beye enti omo ma bon no omo mo emindie no mu na yombra ye policies nie but yen pese obi ebetina ball so friends fence e ka see na ko ball ni say ya e ka be ya ko ball ni say be ya mu mpra be kire pattern e be ball game no ade akọ aboy o man Ghana. And this is what is being done. In the who say obi ejina nche and na we ade ya no de aye bida e hu ni mfaso a no be say say de eje ma wo ye no wo ye ni say na interest rate said at the time na muga say they be ya nko no NG advice bia no interest rate in fact today just fair yes this are confident ya be interest rate treasury bills down move for fuel at almost 3 cities 80 pesos 3 cities you have the men they are 15 cities must say an economy say enu ye sin there were 3 cities you know don't call 3 cities see dey bio me hia adim kire e wo dey aye bio me hia sa enimdie no say mo fambra me fantina radio stations me fantina friends workshops ye kan wansem. And yesterday it has also reviewed say Ghana for ehu baby ya gina bre ewo our challenges.
Okay.
Baby our mind pese yenko muso mu nkire say de ye ko no ebeboa. After that ye de beboa our economy no budget na ebe ye no ye na ebe sumni. Then unfortunate na mako hu say aspirant flag bearer of MPP wa be gina minim say o national chairman na say we ya friends minister of finance abet na say wo ye true state of our state. The speaker.
Yeah.
So na no last week we know. Enye endi so na wo. Me boa. MPP also mo man Ghana. Tab na omunya akwanya omu twantro on figures, fact. Yenye akwanya no. Ye constitution say ye change power pair. E was say aban na wo so no. Unchire aban no nyema wo ye. Sa nyama no mo kire Ghana na enda John Dramani Mahama ebe kire say MPP for eja to me no nyama mo ja enie ebinize mo ye dede amana na do na parliament e ka say omo benefit for free education 5.7 million wa but ye go share omo lo hoye ntwantro nti omo je tumu say 3.4 million nti sa budget na mo di ye 5.20 no krapo no eno ye nka ho asemo project e yeka about roads so amen yedi so egu e friends e chebo so yedi pay out egu no so no sa na sika ni ho dedicated fund ni ho but na one for started free if then 111 Mr. Speaker who can say this go power now John Mahama start say ye every friend say secondary schools community secondary schools you're spreading across the country say all the 200 obi antimi bi but you challenge. That challenge ni Emma yuntimi anwie projects no at the same time.
Okay.
So MPP so can say oh that be anything na yekoye sa project without having a plan say we way and say na way. Then you came to power. Now master ye the same strategy no enye somebody agenda 11. And no so we so no sika amudi egu mu say ye project no. Na nka we sa plan na ka boaye. Ovi ye ka say am say dey bi agenda 11 ye bi 3 kire there anyway ndura minister of health ekwam so hu videos no who ye no Mr. Speaker how did you feel who say MPP for your pro anybody abro who say abro pa say wetin commission na do akọ dinner commission project and ceiling ye ceiling these are the things that we are talking about project and program na e yon mo do mo Ghana to give us the guide say enebe no when we are all pushing to that one the next 4 years Obet market na say ye katina ase no yanka say yen say adent na we
okay
yes idea the ote in China and they work say we true state of nation now one nim in the work say they be second there economy here but abroad to mom contractors abroad to mom service for na sikani wo cocoa board in there sika ya boka wo abroad but economy here then you test yourself say what kind of political party the MPP is. But I believe Ghanaians have the confidence in John Dramani Mahama. Say, oh my, we need to reset this country.
Now we see for
yeah, resetting oh my no. Inyema ya that first na amwano. Yeah, sound kobio.
Okay.
See, that is why I could understand when face MPP na kabo reset on my doing say. Yeah, so na. Government didn't hear a program crap no. Ube also so. In fact, no crap una information. Only said there was an advert for on the 4th of March for the same zona of MPP there no.
4th of March.
Yes, I'm here advert say 4th March in there and I can buy. Yes. I'm and I'm prepare quite and draw there say because I'm person take shine from the dialogue. But dialogue the people are there. Enye campaign. Eya adwinkyere and ye wo. It will not change anything. But in the am here and draw no. I'm waiting for them. So this is a true state of economy no and I said state of nations no economy here. We demand them to pay the contractors. I want my checks to pay the contractors.
Now some money are buying must say.
They be almost say economy here until ndi obika. So they should pay the contractors. What you be contractor who tie MPP here? And now you say MPP at your bro. Say me get sika. Mami doka. Me ya depends because me doka o. Ye go ni maso abonte. But me o sika minti ya. Enye se bi nye jibie.
All right, Madi. Mesanso about so be 47 minutes after 8. Kessben 92.9. Go over Paul.
Yes, Kwame.
Yes, Maakye be.
Yeah, no.
Mamintio.
Yeah, Kwame. Yesterday I listened to President Mahama. In fact, I watched him on my phone and of course TV. Now, Kwame, my main kase. President Mahama si oba obi Afari Hospital.
Yeah.
We thank him. Also about Obiwi Sewua Regional Hospital for Ashanti region. The Afari Hospital is the military hospital. And also about Obiwi the Sewua as well, which is the regional hospital. Also about trying the best to complete the KJTF phase 2. Okay. The KJTF phase 2 Kwame. Eda ubia kumaso say yiwie na kumasi ye vibrant again, you get me. It is good or say oba obeluku for a fund no complete Swami interchange. Kwame, the Swami interchange made us to understand say there is no clear cut fund ayede Swami interchange. So Kwame, it is good say oman peninika say including some of the projects that the NPP started. Now listen to me, Kwame. I listened to Ofori Krom constituency member of parliament in the person of Honorable Edu. And I was say the reason why I buy here is economic dialogue. Well, who say a normal wababetuno? I shall not be feeling. So they need a gap. You understand?
Me too.
Between the citizen and the government. Send your beya your bema abane break akra. No obian criticizing no. Especially Boshebi Awashe with the timeline. Nenko create problem farmer no. So they are just doing this. Send your beya obenya honeymoon to think through. Okay. That is what Ofori Krom constituency member of parliament Honorable Edu is saying. And I've also heard some of the opposition, Ekase, the NDC are doing this just to publicize and paint the old government bad in the eyes, to make the old government look bad in the eyes of the people. You get me? Yeah. To get a favor. Send your beya, say no maybe one people will slow down as far as the criticism is concerned. Kwame, What else can I say as a broadcaster? NDC and President Mahama, the ball is in their courts
to prove themselves.
You get me?
Yeah.
To make sure that the NDC communicator echo radio soa in the next 2 years, the person will get a bragging rights.
Okay.
It is up to them.
Yes, there's
Kwame. Because Kwame Timi, say economic dialogue ya kwakwi.
Yeah.
And the swipe coming from the opposition. Say betimi engineer, because economic dialogue they come yeah. Then we come back to ABCD. You understand? So the opposition swipe no betina Kwame dedikai. Say economic dialogue. No say yes called driver 34 convoy and anya kwana ye.
Okay.
We have to watch that. Because you borrow from Germany. Germany is the richest country in Europe. You get me? But German Chancellor, the convoy Air 5, including 3 motorcades. But we borrow from them. So in the next year or 2, if you see the president or a minister of state with a 34 convoy, I'll be disappointed. Kwame.
But what's here to force in the round? So government expenditure has been reduced. No more cutting baby now.
Kwame, ya card ya tisa story ya tia. Abaya ba President Kufuor Bekabi later be patcho. They make a watch say.
Yeah.
And ya ato force in dia oka. And in President Mahama dia waka. I'm talking about the economic dialogue. Sebetimi engineer. This is what we have to do, Kwame. We need to crack the whip, Kwame. You making sure say yes, you making sure say obi be so tax Kwame so tua. Because in the 2021 budget statement presented by Mr. Furiata made us to understand say Ghana 30 million, little over 30 million population. Emu 2.3 million per and the taxes, bearing the tax the burden of sa nipa 30 million.
Tax.
Yes. But in the books, nipa say taxes in this country, 7.8 million.
So
because of politics. There are some people here tax or more penny. We want to about any kind of things, Kwame.
Yeah.
We need to widen our tax net. Will be a so tax be a Kwame so because ya sad will be ending up taxing where we should not tax. They said your COVID levy this year and that's acquire unity with the nine.
Now problem
about. So there are some people they need to pay taxes.
Okay.
Lawyer says so much taxes. Yaka.
Sorry
taxes because religion being recognized in our constitution. Kwame.
Yes.
Say economic dialogue we activate fully of this chapter 6 of article 35 clause 7 of our Ghana constitution. Article 35 clause 6 the eka was say as far as practicable a government shall continue and execute projects and programs commenced by the previous government. That's the directive principles of the state policy. Say ababi ye bibi na say practicable to say KJTR project. And you practicable to say a ferry hospital. To say Takrady interchange Kwame. Tamale interchange phase 2. On and on and on and on. Ababi or baby so twice. So Kwame see this economic dialogue could be to me engineer. Chile abane ba on beka project abanye abanu no ye na abane twam no ye no on beka nhye no be ye ne de ye nsan ko bobosia emba be ye foforo abre betimi di say sika na different thing. Sa no man should be the thing of the past. The reason for this economic dialogue to save money. Say economic dialogue we betimi agina Kwame.
Yeah.
We need to make sure say yen ko set up a tomato plant e wa Accra. tomato plant wa Accra. Yenua tomatoes wa Accra. Shai osudoku. Obi enua tomatoes wa Kwame. Esese tomato plant yaya no akomadan. Okay. Pualugu Kwame abofo techiman Kwame. Jamaica no what say?
Yes.
Say economic dialogue no betimi agina. Che cashew the whole West Africa. Baby eye cashew pa Kwame. Eye wanchi. And then potom sampa. And then potom. We need to set a year friend say cashew plant. And normal raw material no ho betimi dia ye normal afi eyi ema etumi ayeye rubber bar polythene ayenya different cashew Kwame ye set up there. Ye meyen wotema. It's economic dialogue, no
proximity to the raw material.
Yes, Kwame. Because Emma Manoa, Omo ye Jumano, cover raw material, but we see kaki too heavy because kind of free time buy a free crab and air costs and Roman Kwame, or better fuel a film, loading boys a film, or better tin air film.
Chop money.
That's it. It's economic management to bet me a jina. Se bet me a jina. Che we stemu. Sa $400 million. Kwame ye fadi cop crack. Tomatoes every Burkina Faso every year. And every year be a Ghana and make Burkina Faso $400 million rich. Why we have Akomadan Kwame?
Is there some supply might be wrong?
There any onion.
Okay.
But tomato dear Kwame. Jamaican watch us here. So bet me a Jina Sardino rice and more 6.8 billion Ghana cedis. Kwame.
For import
kwa edeba as economic dialogue ni betimi agina as a see dia obsessi eboka say where your party financier and so we overpassing this person, we overlooking this person to make sure say economy ni betina massa ye be ma quantum of number bi betimi dia akokra dia ba.
Okay,
send ye be ya timamufo no ebetimi ade omo ho Kwame. That is the only way ye betimi aye. Se economic man ayini betimi agina dialogue betimi agina and yes the year or two ye be hwe na Jubilee House ni pet Jubilee House no Kwame aye adwuma no na ekwa ya aban na atwam die ni bi.
Okay,
afa ye wode obompa ya wode ayi jo 17 jo no bompa ya mo man panini wo ho chaplain se train assistant yo operation of chaplain mi tibida
asano about communication.
Asa no about tall list of communication you be call ye hu aduma bi omo ye na job for the boys near staff for the Jubilee House egu oni etu omo ka Kwame se koba sad na sa no ma we ni na asa eda so ba 2 years time the import driven economy no esa be mene ye ne and na chese ya ne economic dialogue we kura na nkeye next time ufra obi anko.
Okay, Nana, may I say, thank you very much. 58 minutes after 9. Council Maakye.
Yeah, enya.
Lawyer Sebe, Bibi Aboko, party mo to say.
Nyame adom Bibi Aboko, party mo so eguso na mama watching na mama me fellow panelists so achi.
Okay.
Etiefo ni ahwefo nyina so me mo matching anopai.
Very well.
Party de mu ye pa eguso. Enyamre na so yebetoto akopem say 2028 yebeto abawie no na 2029. Asaba ban mu.
Okay.
And who juma na edie.
Very well. But I say so ma me na min twa me ho emra me ba yebeto aso na ye ne wadi nkomo. Stay with me.
Oba be koso. Eti mismet me preempt bibia. Se me ba esese wo ye ma me. Eti even yesterday okay, and you can go for the tapes or say repeat as my okay. So ono de senka yenya invitation and can a suggestion say ansa ne be kono wona ye yi won di nyina no ye reinstate you na so yon kan bone the fact or can in chese yenya invitation if they have any invitation on the buyer they should show it. If you are going to do such a program, stakeholders, how can you say a major political party the onu free abamu sesiye the oba abamu yato aba amano empre 9 amana aba abamu no who invite no I know say omu invite because a programmer said me hu no ya designer say we are going to give the dog a bad name and hang it
Oh, Samu.
Yes.
For the economic dialogue.
Yes.
But this was something they promised before coming into power.
It's something that, so if you want somebody, see as your finance, your friends, finance minister, that's your MP. It's your MPP adwin chirenya den emra. Because so shall say so kasa, obami ehunu say inflation do 54, but aba 2023. Or shall say so kasa, obami ehunu say GDP growth. IMF pegging at 4%, no. Yet minya 6%. These are the realities and these are the facts. For which reason? You invite your crown waba. So you see, if how can you say you are calling an economic, but you don't have any program, they gave opportunity for MPP to make a statement. You see, that's what I'm saying. They're just going to give the dog a bad name and hang it. And to be so, they are two Abama mum they are now hoarding.
I see.
Hoarding, papa, you bet me I can send be out. One question I may be sending.
Mije.
And the MPP in fear watching. Bibi papa bako kran who are MPP ya na. Who can say MPP bedi soon fear watching? There is not even a single thing that MPP ya papa. Agenda 111 na year king President Mahama Eshasi or say 1.7 billion to complete. Afei na what you cry na say about 1.4 billion to complete. Me sure say enne ye bisa na ebeka 1 billion to complete.
Oh, but say we are consistent with the figures and the official document finance minister present here indicates aka 1.5 billion to complete.
What's some different figure? What's say no?
Means no, but I'm giving you the records from an official
speaker saying said the President Mahama eko jina parliament ekai enyo official na. Can that be unofficial? And the president said, when the president speaks, he's speaking from a point of information. The president they know also or cast as someone on him. So say sorry them kind of president akwa jina kasa. Yen timi ka say unofficial, it is official. So you see, them kasa okra no what say asem na chere say yen say nya 1.7, yen nya 1.4, yen nya 1.5, which is which? Now hospitals na esisi ho no de yen timi anka say sikapudu a ewuram eyesei eno de yen hunu. Na mom de aka no de ye de aba.
I mean, Prime Minister slice, presentation and page 17. Infrastructure spending is highly inefficient and mostly uncompleted. I say even a small improvement in spending efficiency could lead to significant progress in infrastructure quality. For example, an increase in an efficiency to match best performing emerging markets would deliver about 20% percentage point improvement in the quality of Ghana's rate quality. Now, I say spreading the resources on too many projects without completing any. For example, Agenda 111, okay, where $400 million have been spent in the last 4 years without any single hospital in operation, with about $1.5 billion needed for the completion. The amount spent could have completed 22 functional hospitals. And this is the statement of the finance minister. No,
the Americans say make us a but the figures keep changing. That is my point. The Americans say what saying and just what can be different. But what I mean is say 1.5 about 1.7 about 1.4 about so where are we headed? You see, I would say. You say glass we wouldn't see gumua na a fan. Ubet me can acquire me so. You can say that the glass is half empty or the glass is half full. The same thing na work. But the Rebecca say glass now is your half empty no. Wama wajina got the negative aspect of the thing so. Now the Rebecca say half full no, otherwise you need to see the positive aspect.
Okay.
Etinin some say the okay kan nyina no. Oh say wetimi a kyerɛ sɛ was spending say 4 point something meboa. Say no
$400 million.
Edi aye adwuma no.
Edi ashim.
But
none is operational.
If none is operational, twaso na nya operationally.
But what's here your full sentence? Was it that 400 million could have completed and operationalized 22 hospitals?
No, is it the case? You see, he's preparing our mind for something. So he's preparing your mind. Say, should your mind nka we dey kenya some kra. When I say hospitals who here o mayimu. It is yes, hospitals na ba bedru baby. Ni ato aba ma se beto aso a. Enya to na ato aso, but all prepare ya dwene. Say me ani da ho as Ghanaians. They are preparing our mind for something. It is one if one is not operational. Tafo MP. Honorable Asifua. President Mahama Kasawi ya oko Oforikrom ekohwe de wo Oforikrom constituency ekohwe de wo no enkodwa nyina sisim bibia wo ho akase you put it into operationalization. Are we saying it's something negative Anna? I don't get it. We are supposed to continue. Let's not forget say MPP this 8 years. The first 4 years Ghana for esa to aba MPP to aso. It means Ghanaians gave approval for the leadership style of MPP in the first 4 years. It's okay 8 years, no. That's the first 4 years in your mapa a course, no. Uyi free our state of the nation. Uyi free our dialogue in Sembia Okemwa. Nadia said, I person catching.
But Uti a president, State of the Nation address now. He did not say Agenda 111. None of them is finished. Was say not in operational.
That's
the same thing. There's a difference between say you operational and because Utie and Amin Adam yesterday I listened to him. He was emphatically or Hama say ye ha I'm almost listed number of Agenda 111 akwamoma. You see they completed 3 or something. But President Mahama in Sonano. One cassette say me say omunwie was it not in operational. Operational means that hospital so
operationalize it. That's the word I even used. The same thing okay, no. If you want to me if it is not in operation, operationalize it. That's the term I use. So I get it pa. It means say I can't operationalization there. Now hospital near we are na enwie. It means a year is ready to be operationalized. And that is the same thing that
but why do we do the politics in that manner?
It's in America say
yes.
Me used to half full and half empty. At the year assembly.
Because I remember say sad debate we are no by 2017, 2018. Now from Bobekai, University of Ghana Medical Center. Argument say yes by
I promise that's why when I was about to speak, I promised my
when I mention yes. So if you watch the banner headline of okay, let me start from the page 11 of Ghanaian Times. I say NPP completed 3 hospitals under Agenda 111. Dr. Amin Adam. So when you read the body of the story, Kwame, or Mayati says or take or swipe it what President Mahama said or the Sona said not in operation. So if you watch the banner headline of graphic, or is there I can't say none of Agenda 111 hospitals operational. Yeah. You understand? So I can't was President Mahama Mukena said not in operational. You understand? So, but yes, but Usha Amin Adam, the press conference now. Now, on also petty picture be me who say it's that President Mahama Pessoa say you me be cry. So none of them but on the President Mahama but not in operational.
Okay. Exactly. That is the same point I'm making. But you see, question of business say me the pa say it's like me fancy 2017 nko. Me start here for President for time. President Kufo ne mayete o pay trillion and TB. That's why I maybe make me submission. Me say if we keep doing the same thing, we shouldn't expect different results. And I'm the Uko Kumasi example. No, the same thing we were. My expectation is say Mumra may be before from here who say we are going in a different direction. But your masha say omu ye die. Not just a wha near kwakugu more opposition. Galam say more koka galam say once manam ko jina nsuo no. and they can want them. Mobile power. Yeah, but discuss galamsey. They are question Kempinski. Nyakache Obia or what Mankranso say Omra Kempinski. No, so Mamet no make galamsey wants them. Isn't it the same thing? Aniaka and then Ziga Eka Bibiano pay say. Yeah, just say. Going forward, no. Yeah, who say convoy. Tin the minister Biachi. Echo. These are the things I move from both sides. You see, when I speak, I even criticize my own party.
Yeah.
Both sides, both and hear the same thing. Adia Omuye say, na make us say it started from President Kufuor's time. Yabani akapre, abana ono puto enti wanye bibi papa bia. That's the question. Eti Ghana for sebe. No sebe ye nim dia ye. Say 2020 esako to abama President Kufuor biu. You see, you call these dialogues so no ma money o mewi. You see, State of Nation address, President Mahama Eka make an emphatic statement. Are good? So free education, no? Yen chamunne, yen chamuchna. But your stakeholders now, education forum, no? Omo recommendations abana. So if nyina adwen kire, ekokosi as free education, no? Emwa as a see a chamua, ye be chama na yen chamu. You see, so it tells you from some of the statements that they make, you know, it tells you so. Oma prepare oma dia wie. Also President Mahama as a campaign grounds there. Or one the campaign now can see a bar. You be beer books nim. Ama Ghana for you. You see sympathy and menkani chikra say pulling for yourself. Fine, politics is acceptable, nice. But I'm telling you, say. Sir, goodwill, I'm always repeating it. The goodwill that you are having, it is eroding at a faster rate. Mo goodwill, no, mo managing here because how things are going, no, is not the best. I don't know if say the state of the nation, no, mintiminti eni na say otimi kasa efa agaviji ehwasemwa. That community na wo voter regional epono ehuhura kono. That is the true state of the economy. That is what is happening that we need to talk about. The people of Ketu South at your mandate amamu and ensure it is so pathetic. Just say has a CA na epunsiono eboa na befa circle hanyina nama zigami shows wo na nama nyina president aka wansem NDC mi kamini aba ye ho no hamas Ketu South for abre e dia ba mu. What we should be thinking of the sword we should be cutting. Sword in relation to sea defense na MPP aye na enwie eni engoto aso nya no. Ho na say ye de adwene kono. Ye nyoma foforo. Ye cut sword okrom ha. You are criticizing National Cathedral, say, obi faith. Yatiasie. Baoba and also Katefro. Me say the people of Agaviji, Esu form over 200 houses. And now me know say what are we doing about it? That is the true state of the Ghanaian economy.
But that's 22 minutes after 9. Mami Emra Madi so that meaning so a lot of rebuttals. Madi, Mami Tio.
Now, me pacho with the Madi Bebana Senchi report and that's all one and some kind of Senchi no. And I say, what is new? The same thing. Speaker.
I believe that MPP feel better on Boasia. They will understand resetting of where we are going. Agenda 111. Let me just do it short for him to understand. And I think that the saying that John Mahama say, Ghana for to buy a tier 2 MPP force free so. September 2024. Okoboy no a minister for health. Meboa. Obeka say agenda 111 no September yao sika Ghana ehia say betime wie $7.6 million. Okoboy.
Where is this? Where is the source?
I'm saying go and check. Go check it.
Where? You should give me the source.
No, my Bible said making come out.
John says 44. So you don't just throw things in the Okobo. Also source in here.
Sure. This is the amount a binding and here so baby agenda 111. In fact, on my penikobe call parliament say I didn't know because I'm kind and crap on a brom so a brom out drain so. Enti on best Ghana for baby I really want to amuntimi say am promise here me boa. Then now new government came and we said sana Okobo na MPP 7 point something no na shares na mkoje na sika Ghana ehia kwapa na $1.7 million. That is the statement. But all case 1.7 million no. Was able to use $400 million also. Now $400 million, you know, offer rate as 18 million now. Now go to me here 22 out of the number. At least now be a use. This is what the president said. It has not changed. So because 50 about 15, and I said 15 17. Because at least now direct no. Now you are running away because these figures are more the president at that time. Now we are in our government to get the books to understand and say adia muka no say nete. And you are blaming adia can with your statement first. My transition. And this minister Nanya Okweja walk through say I didn't clap on na 17 no na 15. Now you are challenging the same statement. Who are statement and I can answer. Yembra even the one we no mukasi me operation operation.
You are not getting it. I'm not challenging. You are referring it to me.
And I make
I'm not challenging. I'm saying the figures are being bundled.
And I make say no. Down no na make say most 37 point na dia mu dia so a na $7 million and Ghana for me here.
Oh, please. That's unsubstantiated.
City Newsroom, $312 million invested in Agenda 111. Dr. Okoboy, August 1, 2024. The government has revealed that $312 million has been invested so far in Agenda 111 project, out of an estimated total cost of $176 billion. Presidential Advisor on Health, Dr. Anthony Nsiansare, recently announced that 50% of the Agenda 111 hospitals will be completed by the end of 2024 to support the government's effort in providing accessible and quality healthcare for Ghanaians. Appearing before the Government Assurances Committee, the Minister of Health, Dr. Okoboy, stated that although most of the projects are at various stages of completion, none are yet completed for the inauguration. Land issues accounted for some of the changes in the timelines of completing the project. And this is what the minister himself said.
And how much $1 million in a year?
$176 million.
The
figure now or kind of way.
And I make us a sure. It's a 24
billion. No, billion. $176 billion is what is required to complete them. And as I said, no, mostly one more used to $312 million already. And it was expected that about 50% of the project would have been completed as at end of last year.
Mr. Speaker, go to my job online. You should know that there is a mistake somewhere. $170 billion.
Yes. 76.
$176
billion.
You should know there is a mistake somewhere.
Oh, I'm reading.
That's what I'm saying. When you are reading that 178 billion. So if he has used 400 or 300 and something million dollars, no, he has 178 billion. It means the remaining sum should still be hovering about 170 something billion. So you should know straight away. The report and why you mistake our baby because 178 billion now can now yeko IMF na yeko pesika. Only 3 billion near for the whole Ghana. And then Agenda 111 he says 178 billion. Hey, please. Now, Sika come to Ukraine cry. Europe now they call Ukraine cry saying $178 billion.
But the president said that they need $1.7 billion.
And this is talking about 178. That's what I'm saying. There is a problem somewhere.
The president said $1.7 billion.
Yes.
And now, Mr. Dr. Nsiansare, and so reacted to it. Asempa.
Yes.
Sorry, Asase FM. He said $1.3 billion rather.
Yes.
So I would say,
you're not getting me. The speaker reading here. 178 billion. Now, business say Europe, Guinea, come there, call Ukraine war. Over the 3 years, that is it.
Right up now,
so you don't just pick things. Say, my reading was
Mr. Speaker.
It's not my job. I just don't.
Mr. Speaker.
I'm reading portals and report.
No, I understand. I'm not faulting you. What I'm saying is, it cannot be true.
Go to my join online. Let me see, my join online 18th September 2024. Okoboy, then okay. Then you get if I don't kind of idea make
So Maminkai, this is Ghana when 19th September.
Oh, Mr.
2024 and the 18th. I did say this is what
my jaw online.
There be my jaw online, but this is what Ghana Web reported. The Minister of Health, Dr. Okoboy, has provided an update on the status of the Ghana Priority Health Infrastructure Project, popularly known as Agenda 111. Speaking at a press briefing in Accra on Wednesday, September 18th, 2024, the minister refuted assertions that the project was fictional and that no work was being done. He said that so far, work at 96% out of the 104 health facilities under the project is ongoing, with many of them more than 80% complete. The project is supposed to build 104 district hospitals, seven regional hospitals, 2 zonal psychiatric hospitals, 1 for Northern Belt, and the others. Now, I say we have 94 sites for district hospitals and 2 sites for psychiatric. Let's come to the real figures. Now, category A are sites that are 76% completed, and above the category B are also sites between 50% completed. 70% within category C are those below 50% completed. Category A, those contract sum for category A site is $247.4 million. Payments made as of July 17th of this year, and it goes on and on and on and on with the figures. Now, make my joy online there no add the amount. But make your point. Make I joy online the amount. No make assassin so the amount. Then you get to understand. It's the same press conference. No money na pick it free.
Because my joy online.
Yes.
And I can say, Sika over here after spending 320 million. No, what they need is 7.6 million.
Government to spend $7.65 billion to complete Agenda 111 project. Health Minister. Any.
This is what I'm talking about.
No, continue. I don't want to.
It's a way in a September issue. After September,
you see, this is where I'm saying, say, reportage. I'm not challenging you. Say reportage be bad. You're scrutinizing ye 7.something billion. Now the mathematics you yourself are doing. Okay, Kabomo, NCNE.
Said
dear Sika Akasi the complete.
That's what I'm saying. Minister of
make my job online there now. Maybe better.
Baby, where echo once now okay figures. I'm gonna say the last information on mine I'm sure of information I can 7.6 billion. However, you be share a transition meeting, and then we say Minister Father Afro say na monya. This is the message the president brought out to tell the public, because our figure any campaign figure. A figure on my penny on mine, dear man say, however, what I'm saying is, we have now had the opportunity to go into say, say no more yo, same partner, a woman. That's what Mr. Finance is now mentioning, say, a 1.5 billion. So this is not something will be a way until somebody can tell me, say, oh, when now where can they say, because facts in a because transition, you know, what kind of information? But somebody must go and sit down and say, "Adia Okano, say neti." Adia Okano, don't forget, say, okay, the last week, now, Nana be a catcher say, National Service for no, Sikano Ayaka wants a recruitment. And you can say, be 1 2 1 years here because Obi a submittee a request for payment of over 100 and something thousand. So then can you hair count on that scan echoye meboa. Today it has confirmed it says sana na can you hair count now when you but during transition we know we own some money. That so nobody should argue on that. But even when they said so we 3 hospitals, we yambon some mama. The Minister of Health and Drug echo a friend said chede ba ko na mo kase we are yan kwahwe no. Ye ko ha no na ceiling in fact a diner crack because nobody was in to do anything. In fact, now beside contractor, over here saying anyway, what's I will need the money again to complete it. The money you know, I can see on my pinnacle. So when we say it's not
that is too tangential. You see, let's deal with proper. These are tangential matters. Ceiling be crack be the baby, so it defeats the whole edifice. The way we are doing our politics.
Lawyer, I think that you are not ready to get it or to support what we are doing. I think I can say, unless you want to give me the whole time.
But for the whole year, the neck had the almost completed the one.
Mention said we should go and check. There, in fact, that's what the Minister of Health went there to go and confirm. 3 of Ferrucrum, in 3 areas. In fact, when they finish, almost call Ferrucrum to there. Contractors in Ebony consultants, Ebony say, and you must say, Namukasi Mukwa, Bibiano, then I hear you say we need some money to complete it. Yesterday.
Because I the videos are share no. I mean infrastructure and light cry.
Lawyer, say, Ejuma Kessie ya ewo hui.
Okay.
Na say yen connect electricity to it. Should we present it in such a way say it's like Ejuma bi anyone? That's what I'm saying. Yen complete it. Then we move on.
Lawyer, and only one contest. But the point is that the former minister of finance has stated say
yes,
ABCD project completed. So what it means is that you complete here, as I said, you put it to use, right?
Yes.
Good. And then the minister takes the effort to visit the place to see how now he gets there. 1, at the end you see a complete light in the hall. 2, ceiling crown ye what you see. 3, fixtures are SSA ebuama ejumani adie esha see no eniho. So the assertions made say you are complete can neither be here or there.
I don't make us say there are some things they are too tangential. Anyone say you see. So with this whole huge project, Shababia, say, 30 seconds.
Okay.
Say, baby, crack be or baby, way I say, connect electricity. If we want to connect electricity to the place, is it going to take us 2 days to connect?
Okay.
These are things we can do. Look at it. So, my percentage wise, Ejumano. Won't you give it more than 98% complete? So why will just dwelling on the 2% as if we are not doing ourselves any good as politicians? I'm telling you.
No, we are not. But you see,
the way we are going.
You see, Council, some of the issues, Basia, you remember the issues on Seglemi affordable housing.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
At the time our NDC exited power, na EDN na air cost was Seglemi. Okay? The project was almost 95% complete. But government came in and said, ensure niho. What you say? And Kania cry and Crawford the best on your day, anyhow. So we cannot term the project say you're complete. Presumably, I mean, your board dines while as windows are fixed BBR correct. We could have said a buying to us non-complete, right? For 8 years, the government left it.
Ebina okay.
Yes.
So are we going to sit down? You see, if my party does anything, now say me feel say enya, me mama support you. Say blindly. There are so many issues. You are not discussing it today. But from what you are saying, is it a justification? Say, whatever the case may be, and then minimum legal issues be or no more. Me patcho ene de minimum my house me patcho we have the time we have a crowd is me economy we have the time in now. There's a project na kwa couldn't we have done something better about it? I believe so, say. And can you say politics in here too much into it and get me salvage a B at the year Juma? That is the same situation we find ourselves in. That's a whole hospital see now who baby say ceiling and complete here. You come and tell the public say 1.5% you complete it. So no, we should stop that.
But you see on that, John Dramani Mahama, what she a clergy or catch you say. This is the situation.
And so fan for voter regional.
Only me.
Say it's political.
But say we can manage this thing to get it done. I repeat say be ja project one. Government be na fa. But am kran so to me aboaso a. Ye mbra ntimi solve our problems. Ye me nya ade ne nka wure mu. John Mahama mentioned that one. Because he has been the president and he knows the kind say uja ade wure mu a it costs the nation. That is why quickly, my Minister of Finance and Health, lawyer, Mr. Speaker.
Yes.
Kessben markets, young projects. Only me say, even NDC completed the first phase of Kessben market, because they didn't tell the story. Only me say during elections, Omo market, omo catch say otumfo na see market no. Say on mama anya bibia or otumfo project na here. But you see, if you don't need to tell that story, in there, say I do we say net you, but it will give us a problem.
Because of minu
mienu. That's why we are saying we are not allowed those people to be saying things.
But they are doing the same thing with the research.
Nanka hospital I say we man challenge nanka yanko ho. Nanka kwa banka so we. But say what we say sa na obi na commission project when the project is not completed. Obi ya commission ya commission that project no. Say you we commission after but na you we which is bad. Again, yeah, but what can someone know how interested? But I mean, the medical far Muslims, so now I don't think say some of you will say these things. The airport Haji village, and your mosque NAAC, and your mosque, and your
I don't know so about
yes, and your mosque. I think that people must understand this concept. Haji, echo Haji every year. List the last year 3,500. In there, I increased the number up to 5,000. Northern region will give us 1,002 because the northern sector, the Akano, Eba Accra. Now their conveyance points we checking any bibiano. Airport doesn't have that capacity. Say arrival, two kwanya, say terminal 3 arrival now with your passport go to departure. Now so every year biano, share baby, and the system now airport for now but custom no be about check if na your friend say oko elwak from airport na monte na ka be fa crop na betina baby akoye ahwe omo then now we move that place to another place like I say temporarily so montina airport and if say me and me service na me ma and I'm going to create a place some for say do draw to kwanya. So I say pregnant now. They will be there for their check-in and everything. Then you move into the airport. Friends, where any airport project. In fact, a Ghana airport project. Amuye. Enya sure Ghana. Let me know be a Kasamu vice chairman, municipal vice chairman. Was it a Zongo development fund? And I'm not say Edwin who say we are sure because all about because when you say Zongo development funds are. And the Ghana airport soon AC I don't know why na ampa say what you use cano I don't know you service airport and nyam faso so it is their ukotamale mamenka
be binchiro say must Hajj village na mosque ni mu a mu go to frigo
mosque ni mosque
how can you have a Hajj village nipa e kwa akotena ho time omunko bompaye my problem you are getting me wrong my problem is not with them
and then the interjections
with the Hajj village with the Hajj village itself I'm not the part I'm going me issue ni say ensure fan crofo that's the state of yeah ko hon musu
you say cancel ni yedini
cancel it's that project that I think that they should slow down. Cancel.
Now, no Ghana Airport Company say a buying agency under the Ministry of Transport. In fact, I know a priority project. Mamwa.
Dabio Haji, ebeko Haji next venture. Haji, in fact, Ghana Airport Benyam for sure so. The people who are there almost say for a can cut off flower. So no be here as a director, as a manager. O say here and find tough flower. The best see a baby uncle for power. Come set your service. In fact, in there, I'm not even trying to advertise for somebody. In the most bus terminals, knowing the importance of passengers. My jai say in there, yeah, a pattern my bus in because of many who are better bus. Now, can I say the bus over the bus? Say a bond, you more carmo, over the base. But back now, you never faba. You want someone more kind. Then I can't. And I'm a more. Nenta unsa man for agreement so they came to say project projects now my 30% because we met your Muslim community you should give us the evidence 30% project mu here okay my remember friends tiger way the issues so no in there on our can see defense issues it's a project that on Ghana started from the Togo border straight up to. It is part of the project MPP when MPP came to power systems almost investigating on the issue. Keta area was ended. Nobody started anything. Tell me whether you didn't stop that project.
My question, I mean,
the
state the nation is in Since you fan for one,
it is not. It is something that we have said that we are. This as a project we are going to work on it. But we are not living that project.
Yes.
But I'm saying that when you had opportunity, it is the same region that Ronaldo or he say Kosuwa Kiso school. Didn't attempt to Kosuwa school. We will not do that one.
And you want to say that the American say I'm saying Nipa wo sakru no so no. Mate omusu eti yema enye government ne priority. That is all I'm saying.
Only lawyer, the pastors say what is so. Yet is so we e Volta Lake issue. And now the catch almost say omo nto abama no. You see us doing, but you see, I want us to do this conversation in 3-4 months' time, in 1 year time. What do you say energy to do that conference? That energy na me person over you. Oh, because in that year, I was in there only Obia Continental Radio Station NDPP near. Yan cancer service issue be that one almost argument in the I'm saying that gradually. A better start stage because they say no but give us 3-4 months. Let the budget. In fact, Martin said now we see budget in the bar. You ready budget net tax be more. We see more demonstration, and I don't have a problem with that one when you do that one, especially when the national invitation of this dialogue issue. The president came to Parliament. Like I said, Martin said Muse Momba, but Mr. Say yes, someone mind into our put that one aside and join us at that program 1 year.
Which program?
So now the president requests say minority. Yeah, it is say Mumba. But where are your mind in there? Mumfa is our issue of politics into. Now let's come together as our mind on record.
I'm hearing it for the first time.
All right. Even say I invite you, the MPP as a political party has always believed say dialogue of any nature. I have economic.
I'm justifying the fact you invite MPP.
Let me tell you, justify again.
Who justify?
Indra Ahmed.
I expect you to condemn it.
Indra Ahmed, minister. Okay, say, sa concert now, see that they are not interested in it. Do you think we will that program?
You invite the person.
It will not go. We will not waste our time. If you invite you, the president came to the parliament to invite you. Say, Matisa, Baba, let me meet you, Mombra. Mosi debi. It's a bomba condition. Say. Were we
at Sona?
Where?
MPP. No more Sona na.
Yes.
So why you invite the person? Not Nipan say, Mima. Then you have a point. Why invite no?
Say you correct.
Bisa say report na away. What me nya no.
And then amudi be Bukata no. Tie. Mr. Speaker Bacho.
Why you?
30 minutes. Century report.
Kofi Akpalu be kasa kakra.
Century report. Yedi buy no. Muka say mu unfa yeduma. When we lost power, you lost on a year and they lose power. When you came, you throw all this one away. And then you come back to IMF. And then Muji levy. If you have followed that work, if you have followed us,
is there anything different that will be said? So
any different. Any sense. Ebe yakra.
Madi me that say. I remember Bramuna and Rapi up and I yanko.
Edia ombedi nkomo.
Main nkomo
kakra. Kwame New Patriotic Party na omoye the real state of nation address.
Yeah.
Which is the true state of nation address. Kwame they say ababia ba the opposition be a true state of nation address. Ye budgeter. Ye be debate budget no. But true state of nation address Kwame nye na.
Exactly.
Ababia ba obeye. They make what I say. New Patriotic Party members in Parliament and the executives omo salam down. Kwame adie bia betia to from Ghana, they react to it. They are proving say omo ntenase kwa emma omo nye 7 projects a useless opposition. But there's one thing that I don't get to say up to now to react to it. True state of a nation address no. Parliament be any
yeah.
But the party executives, national executives no. Come on more power, they can stop or say be a bekasi yenja anasi yenye. They make a right say. If you parliament sometimes a normal the caucus no be a parliament no. The executives no have a hand in it. Decision in it. Bibia baby omo react to it. I wonder why I say Kwame.
Yes.
What election? We lose election. Election now we lose no. Since 92, obi lose such a heavy margin that. Till you. Campaign na Dr. Mahmoud Bamiaye. Nen kofo expect say ombe lose such a huge margin. Was setting up a committee. One of the brilliant and your friend say a career of an institutional memory in the person of Professor Michael Kwe setting up a committee. So we investigate Adianwa Ma NPP Lusu 2024. Now, Reggie Bia Nyane our investigation. Kwame, what is here as a report to be about it?
Ashanti region there.
Yes, Ashanti region.
Meba, what be bisa?
National
from the national what be bisa?
National then there's so many.
Yes. Now Ashanti region there na aba. We are meant to understand say e will be na concord to and the ababonti. E bi so say e party executive say wa Ashanti region. And omo ankasa so ayo omo de. Kwame. The new patriotic party executives Matron Wamentias, including the members of parliament. So, but me reacted to BBA. I didn't swab quite some Bob on Tabaka Ghana for say, hey, I didn't read, you know, it doesn't represent the original founders now. Yeah. Kwame, I don't get it.
But Ashanti region then they were out, me boy.
See, they make no Kwame.
The chairman was led committee. On one hand over the amateur to me. Anna, I mean, except of it, and leaky.
Then they are denying say it doesn't represent the view.
Oh, I know the area no because
I've
listened to Chairman. I've just listened to Chairman Sabo's interview or granted with Jantua on
Maakye. Kwame Maakye. Amanaka say you cry Omotono August and committed 30%.
Exactly.
But we have spoken with their party executives. Yeah. Also, the Koso Badina and the crack. I have spoken with some of them.
But who can who say Oman respond? You see, economic hardship, I will report no more. Now they are telling you that economic hardship in you. It means they are reacting to it.
Please.
Report now, the picture now,
I get your picture.
Yes. So what I'm saying is,
I'm with you on
listen to me. Professor Kwesi reports. Up to now, if you ask the NDC people, they will tell you that everything that you read on the social media and the news portals is not true. Does not represent your friend say the real founders now Kwesi report because I know say politics say a election as a report ba nipa saka report no they are not even up to 10. Any Mr. Yamu Akasawa, I have spoken with some of the executives and I'm asking them say I don't know about Bontin be reacting kase I don't know about Bontin nye no kure
Ziga, we me fear something. My men can't get to a
me bow. No, Baby Jama is here. As someone react to Casadian and the crack, Muriam set up a committee to investigate it. Who did that?
I did the about one leaky.
Who did that? Group bear and a very active.
Because you report now. Okay, report now, Kwame. And you so damn say, who declare say. A agenda to exonerate some people. You understand? So it is clear say Ebia obi betimi ahye ero baby that agenda member there's a committee in Ashanti region tie maame ne come maame ne friend is the professor why Professor Bibi the woman is not out to tell us say this is a representative of committee chairman and na metia wo say chairman sadia na okeka no the executives in the council they hand you over their mom. It is in news. They okay can you?
But this question I go say. Some be respond group be respond for or against group be in MPP.
The group. I'm talking about the executives.
Now you see what you are missing.
The executives and the committee.
So boys, they are all missing in here. national asset Professor Okwe committee. Okay. Anna Ashanti region say omo ho. So there is chairman Sabonsu committee. Omo krasi omo di ka tie before ansana committee no eba. Okay. Maybe isusu me papa mu kra no a anka chairman sa committee ni wie omo adwuma no. You need to wait because national so asset committee. Yeah. Okwe mu nama omo eye adwuma.
Yeah. Enwa na ye ka ho asemi.
Okay. But the question is that chairman some adwuma a omo ye no. Kwakwa mu adwuma omo ye. Omo hand over the report to me. The pictures are there. And if today say except of the report are out, why the leaky report?
That is
and I mean to say the about to be one or more circulate, the party executives in Yana crack.
No, but say the national.
You see, Deputy, we are speaking with the national executive. What's in Yana crack? And I'm saying, say, on the crack that is on air. And offer has spoken with some people. They also deny say and then what are the committee no am I setting up na dia ba de no mo.
Onim said the MPP and Kasamulusu elections no. One of their major statements and they say Ashanti region form to aba. In Ashanti region process okay say mu yan to aba dia. Yen hwe ne enta yan to aba. And don't go share the entire amount to about.
I agree with you.
To help the people say, Musi Yantuaba, Musi the whole 60 region, I can say, Young Kwan Yantuaba, because we need a Yantuaba. So they went and did their own investigation to know, say, I didn't tell Yantuaba. Okay. And then gave out the report who to me, Unam, and I want to do two Musa, we are regional chairman, and a young 20 report. Also, we are not say, Charlie, I don't know. Say national report.
So it means that it is not the committee no.
The last minute.
So see what I say about this.
It's not report in my round. Almost a national monje. By saying say a group no flag bearers na 4. Omo nim the support no mo dey go. One of the group members are there Bebo and on the Babonte. They should check that one. We are now with that one.
Okay. Good, very good. You see, when it comes to saying Ashanti region and Tuaba, it is just because most of our votes, you be winning a honey free. It's one and Tuaba. Nationwide, you will say baby and Tuaba. You see, many the guy are doing 100%. I was saying okay. So, Empo ya set a committee ahead of time. That's a national so set here. National then and consume. Regional.
Exactly.
It is all regional. What was my baby to ya? Now say national so far some different and one year. It is a more finance na munya and say agenda be anymore. As some present to come the your friend is saying
the national
no so fan compare omo de omo ye. You see national they are a general.
The whole
regional
country.
then is specific.
Yes.
And therefore between these two as I said Ashanti region a detailed work more than the national. Look at what is happening. Me contested primaries.
Okay.
Yes, I contested. National air quiet no air come constituency no. Mebo ni din chairman FF2. Our down no for phone frame me. And I have a discussion on it.
I want national
level. Yes. Yes.
Because I know that is what they do.
That's what they are doing. Regional they no makwa no. Also boss say obabi minim
they should hand over to the national.
So me am contested primaries. Me name say research be ekoso man kan so a. Na say national no it me detailed.
But national committee ni frame.
Me personally.
My region there ni there one frame.
My board chairman FFN to the me am make elections am lose no. Me have issues as am deba.
Yeah.
Now you see a bra me koka wo sister station be say what is going on because me ate. Sa findings where omunye report no yankoye ni enye say ni exonerate candidates be na say na ya te e wo order that
Ashanti region
the omoye wo no how can me also say my contaminant na sem kan me din me nua banka say no honorable chairman Sabunso I have a lot of respect for him because of knowledge our kaka say ni enim say 30% cry nya and na o ka kire ye say yenko sa direction we no. So were you deceiving us, the youth of this country? You see, and then because what? Air time.
Because it's
the earlier say Ashanti region crowd say could detail ye sticker honorable MP for Inshayaso.
Yeah.
Or say in the constituency, when Nimo she Ashanti region, the MP, the sitting MP, Nimo.
But I say also,
the constituency executive, any Moshe, it's never research in Akosono. Please, they should give us a break with that. Oh, Sasana, I said, Katiani, Indian soba. Julius Debra, and also, it's better to say, they say no any budget, but you all these processes. The point I'm making is a CHA and this, and some can be MPP. Also, I can't say free education. Your mama Becca say, Obekipu. It is a report, no, I'm going to eba. Now say a show say. See scrappy assembly Nebeka. The same thing I'm telling the MPP Ashanti Regional Caucus. No, I report here. A whole in Shayasu MP anymore. And there's some be in China. Some of us do not agree to the findings. They have done nothing. We do not agree. If you see, they shouldn't have even come public with it. When you come, you see, a just energy. I don't just energy our party. Because we have hope for 2028 in Intino. It's in Yabreno. It's as some meme they make a chance say, Saku massive findings now more year, you know. They are maintaining that things have been cooked to whitewash one particular candidate. To whitewash one particular candidate. May say they are maintaining a maker, men to whitewash one particular candidate. Na encoach simu say because the president no who tell report don't say I'm painting about me color me the son of me say to whitewash one particular that thing it will not work and they have failed with that thing that oh when Nadia Nana is no longer on the ballot we are moving forward and the MPP will bring power
2028 I plan for a campaign MPP and
I'm say your friend saying Rollins Pazineto position am the man deputy health minister who is rejected
I want the man
if
your mic in a job Minister of Defense Mr. President Pacho your connection be
thank you, gentlemen. Lawyers, member of the NPP, Maakye, Deputy Director of Election for the NPP. Thank you. I mean, wishing Mr. Philip of St. Francis College of Education, the Volta region, and I'll pay happy birthday to you. God bless you so much. We wish you the best of your new year. Right into the Muncho now on your Kessben. Happy birthday to you. I did Kwame Appiah Kubi. We shall have a phone see Sir Johnny Tim no and family production no and to us. I don't yenia or China. You ever sound so anywhere at the Asia. Good morning and enjoy the rest of your day.